Now we will move to the pathology of parathyroid glands, and we will discuss three lesions of parathyroid glands side by side. These are parathyroid adenoma, parathyroid hyperplasia, and parathyroid carcinomas. Firstly, we will discuss the gross morphology. Now you know that normally there are four parathyroid glands in our body, and when an adenoma develops, it usually involves only a single gland. It is well circumscribed, which means it has clear boundaries and it has an intact capsule. Because this is a benign tumor, you all know that benign tumors have clear boundaries and intact capsule. Parathyroid hyperplasia, on the other hand, affects more than one gland at a time, so it is multiglandular. And parathyroid carcinoma is also a solitary or single mass like adenoma, but being a cancer, it can show capsular invasion. But in some cases, capsular invasion may not be apparent, so differentiation between adenoma and carcinoma becomes difficult on gross specimens. Now we will discuss the microscopic features which are very easy to remember. The first is parathyroid adenoma, in which you see hypercellular areas containing chief cells surrounded by normal tissue. The capsule does not show any sign of invasion, and contrary to the stroma of normal parathyroid gland in which there is significant adipose tissue, the adipose tissue is rare in stroma of adenoma. Lastly, some of the cells in adenoma may be atypical in morphology. This feature is called endocrine atypia. The second lesion, which is parathyroid hyperplasia, show areas of chief cell hyperplasia on microscopy, and these hyperplastic regions are multifocal as we discussed in gross section. The adipose tissue in carcinoma is also rare just like adenoma. And one important feature in parathyroid hyperplasia is the presence of cells that have a lot of glycogen in the cytoplasm. So they appear colorless because glycogen does not stain. This pattern is known as water cell hyperplasia. Lastly, in parathyroid carcinomas, you see chief cells in nodular or trabecular pattern, and as this is a cancer, so there is invasion of surrounding tissue. So if we sum up the microscopic features of all these three lesions, you can see that all of them have proliferation of C cells. The main differentiating features are that capsular invasion happens in carcinoma, capsular invasion is absent in adenoma, while in hyperplasia, there are multifocal masses with water cell hyperplasia. The next lesion is secondary hyperparathyroidism, and the morphology here is similar to that in parathyroid hyperplasia, that is increased number of chief cells and water clear cells. Now in exams, other than asking the morphology of parathyroid lesions, they may ask bone changes that occurs due to parathyroid hormone induced hypercalcemia. So these lesions are specifically named as osteitis fibrosa cystica, but we will not discuss it here, we will discuss it in the section of bone pathology. And at last, let's learn the renal changes due to parathyroid hormone induced hypercalcemia. You know, when the blood levels of calcium is elevated, it results in metastatic calcification of many organs. If this calcification occurs in renal tubules and renal interstitium, it is known as nephrocalcinosis. Moreover, parathyroid hormone induced hypercalcemia can form calcium stones in excretory system. This condition is called nephrolithiasis.